Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Kia, and I am back for another video. So, listen, I have something that we're going to talk about, and it's not really new. It's kind of late, but I had to look at the entire situation before I made my commentary. And again, for people who have followed me on my YouTube channel for a little bit, unless something really moves me or gets to a point to move me, I'm not going to make a video about it. So I'm about to dive into this whole Tenderism and Destination Smokehouse situation. And I'm not going to look at the perspective that a lot of people are looking at it. I'm going to look at it from a marketing and advertising perspective. And listen, from a marketing and advertising perspective, Smokehouse might not survive this. Not because of racism or whatever. It is because they are making extremely poor choices when it comes to how they're handling this on TikTok and online and in videos. It just doesn't make any sense. And I really hope they have somebody in PR behind them so that they can kind of mitigate this so they don't lose the business. A video was posted yesterday of Destination Smokehouse of people inside of it, and it went from a multiracial crowd line out the door to maybe six or seven white families sitting down together eating because they probably don't know the situation, and nor do they care. So, listen, I just want us to all have this conversation and give your thoughts about it. So first, for the people who are new here, who do not know about the Mr. Tenderness situation because you liked my channel or subscribed to my channel after my video about Nick Yepremian or my video about Andrew Wilson, let me explain to you what happened. So Keith Lee, who is the TikTok food critic, very popular TikTok food critic, went to a place called Destination Smokehouse in Marietta, California. He goes there, he eats, he enjoys the food, gave his honest critique. He then decides to go inside and tip Uncle Tenderism. Because Uncle Tenderism, who at the time everybody thought was a business owner, is kind of the face of the business. He has this whole thing where the meat falls off the bone, he slams his glasses down, like it's a whole TikTok social media trend. A lot of big influencers, black male influencers have gone there and really have enjoyed the experience. So he wanted to directly tip Mr. Tenderism. And if you know Keith Lee, this is what he does at every single business that he interacts with. If the food is good or the staff is really trying, he tips the owner, he'll tip the team, he'll buy meals, he will do the whole thing so that everybody there knows that they are appreciated and valued. So in this situation, he wanted to tip Uncle Tenderism a tip. And here is what happened when he made the attempt to tip Mr. Tenderism.
They said that he was filming something. I believe he was filming a podcast. We had $5,000 in cash or $4,000 in cash that we was gonna give him a hand. They didn't take it.
Keith Lee trying to bless Unc with 4,000 exposed that Unc Mr. Tenderism was being used as a.
So I'm not going to play the rest of that, but that is the entire clip. Keith Lee tries to go in there because I don't want to steal the people's content. Keith Lee tries to go in there and tries to tip Uncle Tenderism. I've seen the longer video. I can't find it now, but he goes in there and he's talking to the hostess desk who basically tell him he's not available. It's not possible. He's busy. He's filming a podcast. We're not going to take your money. And they didn't take it. So then what Keith Lee ends up doing is using that $5,000 to then bless a whole bunch of people with free meals at Destination Smokehouse. This video gets posted and it goes viral. And a lot of information starts coming out about it kind of seeming odd that, Mr. Tenderism wasn't allowed to come out. And why he wasn't able to come out and, greet Keith Lee. And again, Keith Lee is somebody famous. He's someone who puts restaurants and food service businesses on the map. I would love for the day he comes to my cousin's catering company that I manage. It would be great. So this is a kind of a big deal that, the owner and Mr. Tenderism should have come out for. They did not. But they posted a response. And that response, again, only confused people more. So here is their response.
To offer a tip to a business owner was crazy. That was the other thing too, is like he really thinks Walt is like this helpless guy who needs his help. How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
Did he really just tell Keith Lee?
So again, I'm not going to share the people's content. I just wanted that original clip. Keith Lee tips everybody. We all have seen him tip business owners, whether they're successful or not. If he enjoys the food, he tips whoever he wants to. And isn't that how tipping works? You tip who you feel really touched you that night, whether it was a waitress or whether it was the business owner. Because keep in mind, Keith Lee doesn't sit in the restaurant so he interacts with waitresses. It's not what happens. He can't do that because he'd be swarmed with people to take pictures every time he tried to put a bite of food in his mouth. So Keith Lee gets the food ordered by one of his team members, one of his family members, and he sits in the car and eats it. So he doesn't have an interaction with a waitress. So he wants to tip the person who did the whole fall off the bone thing. And the response we have here is awful from Destination Smokehouse, where they should have been more apologetic and saying, oh, we messed up. We should have let Keith Lee come in. We could have had a conversation. We're so sorry for the confusion. We really were filming a contest. We got to get this content out so we can make sure that, we keep money coming in for everybody. But we're so sorry, Keith. We would love for you to come back. Complete misunderstanding. Instead, their response is more like, why would you tip a business owner? Why are you tipping him? You should tip everybody else. That's crazy. That's weird. Why didn't you tell us you were here? You should have told us. I wish we would have known. The reason why Keith Lee doesn't tell people is so that he gets an honest treatment. He wants to be treated like the everyday person ordering food so that he can, give an honest reaction and be a real person. Because we all know when celebrities go into different places, they're treated completely differently. They're treated like kings and queens when they go into restaurants. That's not what he wants, because that wouldn't give an honest review. And that's what we appreciate from Keith Lee. So that response, again, didn't help. And this started people into the researching phase. And here's where things go left. We now discover that Uncle Tenderism, Mr. Tenderism, is not part owner of Destination Smokehouse. Originally, Destination Smokehouse was Destination Coffee, and nobody was going to Destination Coffee. So Unc, I'm calling him Unc because, people are calling him Unc. Unc goes in there, whose real name is Walter, goes in there and, has a conversation with the owner, and they decide, to maybe, hey, let's try this thing. The business is already really, really down. Let's just try adding a couple of extra things to the menu. So they start adding, ribs, beef tips, all that kind of stuff to the menu, a small portion, and it takes off. People are now coming into the coffee house for the delicious smokehouse meats that Uncle Tenderism is providing, and Destination Coffee turns into Destination Smokehouse. So Uncle Tenderism was a huge part of this business now being successful as something else. So, but it all comes, like I said, comes to find out, he's not the owner of it. He's just there working. He is another employee. Even though in that video, the owner, Nick, said that Uncle Tenderism was a business owner. He is not. So after all of these things keep going worse and worse and worse, we keep getting more TikTok videos, more social media, more people acting like they're not going to come there and eat because they feel like Unc is being used, and that in that video he looked more like a hostage than an employee, if anything. And how it's just a weird dynamic between these two men that it shouldn't be happening. Nick does the next stupid thing, and he sends Uncle Tenderism away.
One is down, brother has to go back. He's got some special stuff to attend to. How you feel, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm leaving Dallas out of this gate right here. I can't tell you where I'm leaving out of, but anyway, I'll see y'all again in the southern part of California, City be Marietta. You know what we do. This destination, one the nation. And we'll see you again, Dallas. That's all.
Special trip, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes,
I love you. Thank you for coming out here.
I'll see you when you get back.
You can't say you love me on camera?
I love you, boy.
All right, so leg one is down.
This doesn't make any sense. Uncle Tenderism has been working at Destination Smokehouse for a large portion of time since it turned into Destination Smokehouse. And that happened in 2020. Uncle Tenderism is there. So all of a sudden, it's thanks for helping me out. Thanks for helping me grow my business. Now head on back to Dallas. And this happens after all of the backlash. It looks like a white owner. You know what it looks like? And again, I don't really like bringing race into this, but what it looks like, if we're making a comparison, it looks like how Elvis Presley or how the Rolling Stones would go to Black concerts, be super excited, great, you're doing so great, I love seeing you on stage, and then leave and go back and kind of steal what they saw on stage. He's got Unc here, and he's made this huge change to Nick's life and really expand the business. Well, you did what you're supposed to do. Now go back to Dallas. or wherever he's sending them off to. And in this video, to me, Unc looks a little confused, and Unc honestly to me looks like he thinks this is just a skit, like part of the Destination Smokehouse promotion, and not like that he's really heading off on a flight back to wherever for an arbitrary or stupid reason that nobody knows why he's going back there. Again, horrible market. Why would you post this video? Destination Smokehouse? Why do you think showing him being, scurried away into the corner basically was a good idea? This is a horrible look for you. And again, everyone thinks it can't get worse from here. It absolutely gets worse. Let me show you the last video that was posted on Martin Luther King Day. Here is what they decided to post.
Doing today, Dr. Martin Luther King. Good man, wasn't he? Bring all people together. All people together. All people. We can go to Stone Mountain, Georgia. We all got to come together. All of us. We human. That's what Destination's about. How y'all doing today?
That's what's Destination about. They posted this video on their official TikTok page of Unc standing in what looks like some old rundown farm. I'm not sure, whatever this is, talking about Martin King Day is for all people, and isn't that the destination? Again, who is running their PR and marketing? This just looks like you sent this old black man off into the pastures, to find whatever it is, and you're having him record videos to help you and send it back. There's no thought process. I get it, it's MLK Day and you wanted a positive video. This isn't it. This isn't it showing the black man who was working there now off by himself in some random location. That doesn't do good for your business. So here is what I would have done if I was working for PR and marketing for Destination Smokehouse. What I would have done is I would have sent my videographer team down to where he is in Dallas, showing him still using his Tenderism skills to do a barbecue for the community and making meat and doing the whole falling off the bone thing, letting the kids kind of interact with him, doing food for the community, kind of like a community potluck, and then having Nick show up. And Nick is now helping him, and they're making plates for people for free. And who is it sponsored by? Destination Smokehouse. That would be a video that not only went viral, but kind of quells some of this, he was just sent away. Like, it shows that, Destination Smokehouse is community oriented, that Unc is still a part of the team, and Nick really is trying to give back and learning from his mistakes. This whole video of him just standing by himself, I guess the Mercedes in the video, because the Mercedes in the background was supposed to make everybody think that, oh, he's fine, he's driving a Mercedes. It doesn't matter that he got driven to, a random field to do this video. It doesn't matter that he got sent off to a plane trip where he looks kind of confused. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that everybody was told he was a business owner, but he's not. He's standing in the field with a Mercedes. Everything's fine. Everything's great. So those are my thoughts. I'm really curious how everybody else thinks of this, because again, I am not looking at this from a, white black situation. I'm looking at this from Nick should have never, the owner of Destination Smokehouse, should never own a business. He shouldn't. I mean, how he's handling the marketing advertising, it seems like he doesn't quite know what he's doing, and he doesn't know quite how to, connect with his customer base, which is no longer going there, that he never understood the customer base, and that he just thought, my coffee house failed. I got to figure it out because I want to make money and I don't want to go back to living in my parents' house. So this is the best solution. And people who run businesses like that, they very, very rarely succeed, if ever. It's the same thing when we see people on social media who are like, getting a job seems really, really hard, and I don't really want to work. I don't really want to do that stuff. So social media seems fun. I'll do that. And they'll have a couple of viral videos. They'll make millions of dollars. And then after that couple of viral videos and millions of dollars, what do they have to show for it? Nothing. They're back broke, not doing anything. Because Nick doesn't really they've showed some of the videos of him cooking the barbecue. He doesn't seem to really know what he's doing, and he doesn't seem good at it, at least not as good as Uncle Tenderism. So, this is where we are. And then, of course, it came out that he's actually trying to trademark the name Tenderism, a name that he did not make famous. He maybe gave that name to Walter, Unc, but he did not make that name famous. Walter did. And I'm always weird about when people try to trademark stuff that they are trying to steal when they didn't make it famous, they didn't make it popular. So listen, drop in my comments. Let's get the conversation started. I'm eager to hear what everyone has to say. And I know this was a quick video on a Thursday morning, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.